So this is part two of the video of how to fix the paint chip repair on automotive paint. So this is the part two. I am going to show my process on how to go by fixing the chips in my vehicle. The reason why I am doing this to my vehicle is because it has a lot of chips, and I just got it, and I don't want the paint to go bad in like a few years from now, because there are metal surface in the chips. There's metal, bare metal, and there's rust in the metal. So I don't want that lead to a future my the I don't want to have rust in the future that much, and in the hood or anything like in the vehicle. I don't really want to worry about that, and I don't want it to, because it's bad in the future. The rust will grow. It's cancer. So yeah, that's why I did that. And so now I already showed part one on how to take off how to prep the surface on certain areas where there's chips. And I put the areas that needed a primer, I put primer. And the areas that needed what do you call that, they needed just paint, I put paint. And then I hit it with clear yesterday. So for today is hard, cured, perfect, ready to a block sand, wet sand, the clear, so it's perfectly straight. I might have to do some minor touch-ups, because it might the clear might be sanded down, but we'll see. Hopefully, I'm gonna try to do I'm gonna try to not go through the clear as much as possible. This is you have to it takes time to do this process. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use 1,000. So I don't have to go try too much. Once I hit 1,000 and it's all completely flat, then I think I'm gonna go with at least 2,500, and I'm gonna lock it down with 2,500, so it could be perfectly smooth and more finer scratches. So when I'm gonna buff it down, it won't be so so it could be perfect. So it could come out when I'm buffing it down, doing the buffing process, it's gonna be really nice. I already wet this for a few minutes. It's already wet, and it needs to be wet at all times. Never block sand when it's not wet. Buenos días. don't feel it anymore. I do feel a little bit, but I'm gonna keep it like that. Why? Because it's not a big deal. Because when I'm gonna color buff it out, the clear is gonna heat up and it's gonna buff into the paint, into the clear is gonna mix into the clear when I'm gonna do the buffing process, so it won't show that bad. So. When you let it dry completely, you will see that there's high spots of clear. But like I said, if you go deep, you're gonna go through the clear and you're gonna go through the paint. So once you do a good job on buffing it, it will mix in. So I'm not too worried right now. I'm not worried. Okay, that's it. And what I do is I go up and down, uh, straight and down, like a cross section. Keep going in a pattern. Don't just do one way. Do up, and then you go across, and you up, and then cross. Make sure you're always putting water on it. Always putting water. It's very important to have water on it all the time. And see, look at the clear. And I'm trying to keep it like that. So. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a time lapse of the whole thing, and it's gonna take a while. So. So I already started polishing. This is how it looks when you covered the chips. Doesn't look too good because of the color of the vehicle, but this is this is mainly more for protection of the future of the paint, not for looks. If I wanted it perfect, I would have painted the whole car, but I'm gonna paint the hood completely. But I don't have a shop. I don't. When in the future, when I have my own shop, I will just paint it again with no problem. I know how to do that. But unfortunately, I don't have the place. So this is how it would look. And my car had a lot of chips. Everywhere you see, that was chips. Some had rust through the chips. So if you want perfection, repaint it. If you don't have the place or the knowledge to paint a vehicle, or the money, this is the best thing for the future of your paint on your vehicle. So I'm just gonna do a time lapse. So what I'm doing is I use the 3M perfected line. This is the compound, and I'm using this 3M poly. What is it called? Steel wool thing, whatever. And I'm using protection because you can't breathe this stuff. It's dangerous. It's not good for your health. So I'm gonna hit it with this, and then I'm gonna hit it with the stage 2, stage 3, and then that's it. I already pretty much did almost. It's all flat. It's just the paint. It's just new paint. The new paint that you put on there, it's different color from the old when your car is sitting under the sun, so it changes a little bit. So that's why it looks like this. If it was exactly the same exact match for the vehicle, you wouldn't see this many little colors, but it is what it is. I'm doing this only for protection for the future of this hood, and maybe later on I'll repaint this vehicle completely if I wanted to. That's if I one day have a shop. So yeah. This, I didn't care. I just did that. Everything else, as you can tell, you can see it, but it's, you don't feel it, but you can see it. But what I did was, here you could feel it a little bit, but I didn't sand this down because this part right here. I went through the paint, so I didn't even paint it. I just put clear because, you know, like, I'm not trying to make it perfect because it's paint chips, but that's not the scratches, paint chips everywhere. My goal was to cover it up, so it won't get worse. I don't feel it. When you get further away, you really don't notice it. This you notice because I just put clear over it and then I didn't even sand it. So that's why it's like that. I don't care. But this will last me a few extra years. I won't start chipping and cracking. That's fine. I'm happy.